The millionaire who tried to buy peace until Allah took everything.
He had billions. He owned cities of glass and light. The world called him a genius, a visionary, the next Elon Musk. But one night, when all his machines obeyed him, one thing didn't, his own heart. A voice inside whispered, "You built everything except your peace." And then Allah began to take, one by one, everything he loved. This is the true story of a man who discovered the meaning of Ali, may Allah be pleased with him. Words, love of the world is the root of all evils.
The city of lights didn't sleep anymore. Every window was a screen, every heart a notification. Amidst the skyscrapers of silicon and code stood the name Zaydin Noor. At 35, Zaydin was the youngest billionaire in Asia, founder of a revolutionary AI empire that promised to reshape humanity. His apps read emotions, predicted thoughts, and even sold dreams. The world bowed before him. But peace? That was one algorithm he couldn't crack. He lived in a glass mansion perched above Dubai's skyline, where everything glowed, except his soul. He prayed once in a while, out of habit, not love. In his office, there was a Quran, unopened, collecting digital dust on a golden shelf. Every day, he chased numbers, downloads, profits, influence. His heart whispered occasionally, "Is this it?" But he drowned it with work. One night, after signing a $2 billion contract with a global defense company, he stared at his reflection in the glass window. Lightning flashed. The city looked like veins of light pumping into a mechanical heart. He smiled and whispered to himself, "I am the future." But deep inside, he felt a tremor. Not in the earth, in his chest. Days passed. The company grew. Reporters called him the man who conquered time. But Zaydin's body began to falter. His hands shook. He couldn't sleep. He began to take pills, first for sleep, then for anxiety, then just to feel something. His therapist told him, "You need balance." His mother told him, "You need Allah." He laughed. "Mom, I'm building the future. Allah doesn't need me to pray 5 times a day to appreciate that." But the heart of a believer never forgets its owner. One evening, Zaydin returned from conference. His jet landed, his guards opened the door, and a crowd cheered. But in that very moment, his phone buzzed. A message appeared. "Emergency. Your mother is in ICU." The world froze. He rushed to the hospital. Machines beeped. His mother lay frail, whispering his name. She opened her eyes and smiled weakly. "Zaydin, my son, I'm proud of you. But remember what Ali ibn Abi Talib said. Love of this world is the root of all evils. You built the world, but don't let it destroy your akhirah." He held her hand tightly, eyes filling with tears. "Don't talk like that, Mom. I'll get you the best doctors." She smiled. "You could buy the world, Zaydin, but not one more breath." And with that, her hand slipped away. The heart monitor went flat. For the first time, silence screamed. Zaydin didn't cry. He didn't speak. He just stared at the ceiling as the words echoed. Love of the world is the root of all evils. The funeral was simple, but his grief was not. The reporters came. The investors called. He returned to his empire the next day. But his heart had changed. He saw the emptiness behind every deal. Yet the world didn't stop. It pulled him harder. A major product launch was near. His AI system was about to control half of the world's digital security. That night, in his office, he stared at the Quran on the shelf. His mother's voice echoed. He took it down. The cover felt cold, like a truth waiting too long. When he opened it, a verse appeared. "Know that the life of this world is but amusement and diversion and adornment and boasting and competition and wealth and children." Quran 57:20. His heart trembled. He closed it fast. "Not now," he whispered. But it was too late. The door to his soul had opened. Weeks later, his empire faced its first collapse. The AI network malfunctioned, leaking millions of private data. Governments panicked. Shares plummeted. Zaydin's name became a headline of disaster. Reporters called him the fallen genius. Investors sued. Friends disappeared. He sat alone in his empty mansion, surrounded by silence. Screens flickered, showing red alerts. He whispered, "Why is this happening to me?" But deep inside, he knew. Allah was calling him back, through loss, through pain. Days turned into nights of restless regret. He began to wander. Once, he found himself walking near a small masjid he used to visit as a child. The call to prayer echoed softly. He stood there, tears filling his eyes. A young imam noticed him and smiled. "Brother, join us." Zayden hesitated. "I haven't prayed in years." The imam replied, "Then this is the perfect time. The doors of Allah never close." That night, for the first time in decades, he bowed down. The floor felt heavy with the weight of his sins. But as his forehead touched the ground, something inside him cracked. A dam of arrogance, of greed, of fake success. Tears fell like rain. He whispered, "Ya Allah, forgive me. I thought I could buy the world, but I forgot you own it." After that night, he changed. He sold his luxurious mansion, donated millions to orphanages, and built free schools teaching both science and deen. People mocked him. "The billionaire's gone mad," they said. But Zayden smiled. "No, I've just remembered where I came from." Months later, while traveling to open a new orphanage in Yemen, his private plane faced a storm. The pilot struggled. "Sir, we're losing altitude." Zayden closed his eyes, clutching his tasbih. He smiled peacefully. "Alhamdulillah, I have no fear. My world is no longer here." The plane crashed in the desert. No survivors were found for 3 days. When rescuers finally arrived, they found him still holding his tasbih, his face serene, a faint smile frozen by the desert wind. And beside him, in his pocket, a handwritten note. "All my life, I tried to control machines. But in the end, I learned to surrender to the one who controls hearts. Love of the world is the root of all evils. I finally understand, Mother." When the news broke, the world mourned the visionary. But in the unseen world, angels smiled at a soul that had finally returned, free from the love of dunya. For some, his death was tragic. But for Zayden Noor, it was the beginning of eternal success. Brothers and sisters, Hazrat Ali, R.A., said, "Love of the world is the root of all evils." Zayden's story isn't fiction. It's a mirror. Every like, every dollar, every desire can either lift us or bury us. Ask yourself tonight, if Allah took everything you love, what would remain? Let your heart answer before it's too late. Watch more stories that awaken your soul, only on Deen in Minute. Subscribe, share, and spread the words that save hearts.